This is the General Tire Off-Road Nationals presented by Toyota. The Prolites rumble out onto the track, 20 strong, and they put on a heck of a show in round number 5 out here. We're looking forward to this. Sheldon Creed has been on the podium every single round, consequently leads the points over Brian Deegan. Justin Smith in third. Bradley Morris, unfortunately, after the biking accident, no longer in the field. We wish him the best. We know he's doing well, but he's fallen in the points. A new name at the front of the pack is Brandon Arthur alongside R.J. Anderson, then Sheldon Creed and Kyle Hart in row 2. Justin Smith and Brian Deegan in row 3. Ryan Beat and Chris Lawrence fill out the 4th row.
When you go back to row 5, it's Casey Curry and Jeff Hoffman next to Kyle Lucas and Eric Hunter, then Jimmy Fishback and Ray Griffith. Austin Kimbrell and Gavin Harlan round out row number 8.
Let's go back to row 9. We find Aaron Doherty and Justin Peck, and then the field of 20 ends up with DJ Knorr and Mike Lawrence.
The Prolites not only put on a show, but they can bring some chaos. Let's watch as we race into turn number 1.
2 of them smack right in the middle of the straightaway. I think it was Creed and R.J. Anderson.
And Brandon Arthur didn't have the jump in the yellow truck, but guess what?
Oh, look at that gaggle.
He asserted himself in turn 1, and he's going to come out with the lead. Now, this is a driver who's been racing in the series, but hasn't been in the front of the pack, so we'll see how it goes for the number 6 as he leads the group through turn number 2.
Yeah, in the production meeting this morning, we were like, who's up at the front? But he, no doubt, has a strong truck out here tonight.
He's been racing, of course. His dad has been around off-road racing for a long time, and Brandon's been racing trophy trucks in the desert. So this year, they came to the short course racing, and you can see right now the number 41 of Kyle Hart trying to make his move. Speaking of moves, R.J. Anderson and Justin Smith, that's R.J. in the white and blue, the Lone Mart sponsored truck, former champion inside the class. Justin Smith, who won last year's Challenge Cup and one of the perennial favorites in the number 19. They're right there with Brian Deegan.
Bean doing a nice job there through turn number 1, gets the spot over RJ right behind him.
Do you see Kyle Hart? He was nose down. He crashed on that a year ago so viciously.
Exactly the same way. So he stuffed it.
That jump, you know, the jumps are the jumps. And you can only go off of them as fast as you can go off of them. And if you try to go faster than the jump will allow, then it's possible something bad could happen, but that's what happened to Kyle Hart 1 year ago. Man, that was a vicious wreck.
Well, as you know, I mean, you might get a little bit of run out of turn number 1 down to ski jump, and it really compresses the truck down at the bottom of that tabletop.
Absolutely.
As Sheldon Creed and Justin Smith battle here.
I was chuckling there because Sheldon Creed was really trying to show Justin a couple different looks there. Justin wasn't having it. It looks like Justin's gearing's good down the front, too. He's able to gap Sheldon, so some of the trucks may be setting up gearing for the faster straight like I believe Arthur is. Look at the huge gap he developed in the first part of the course. And we'll see now if Kyle Hart... Oh, Justin Smith!
Oh, you just talked about it, and Bean stuffs the nose. That's why we keep talking about it. That is a very, very scary and huge wreck. Man, that's a hard hit, and we've got to hope that Bean's okay here. Wow. It'll give you an idea of the speed that they carry down that ski jump. We talked about it completely compresses the suspension at the bottom, and it just launches the back of the truck up in the air if they don't do it perfectly.
And Justin, of course, from San Clemente, California, as am I. He started racing with my desert team, and wow. The good news is we can see him moving around inside the truck, but wow, that was a vicious hit. And there's Justin Smith, former freestyle motocross professional rider.
He's a tough dude as well.
Claims it.
Well, if you're not going to win it, at least go out exciting. Craziness here in the Prolite category. The General Tire Off-Road Nationals presented by Toyota. They fan out Brandon Arthur and the yellow number 6 truck, enjoying the lead for the first time in his career in short course off-road Prolite action.
Deegan on the bottom. He got by Hart. And it looks like Arthur's going wide, but is going to have the drive, and the kid retains the lead as they head down into the area where Justin Smith crashed. Let's check in with Rob.
And guys, how about the Ramona, California Prolite rookie, Brandon Arthur, out in front, getting it done. driver that comes out of the off-road desert ranks. He finished second at the Snore Battle of Prim in a trophy truck earlier this year. And if you go back to 2009, he ran 5th in mod cart points and picked up Rookie of the Year honors. Great to have him in the Prolite category this year. Just 2 top 10s coming off an 8th place finish. 1 round to go here under the lights of Reno, going for his first career Prolite win.
Yeah, and that truck was digging hard up the hill. Brian Deegan taking over second place. Somehow Sheldon Creed got in front of R.J. Anderson and Kyle Hart.
Somehow? He's bad, dude. He's fast.
Pretty good at somehow getting in front of people, huh?
Oh, Kyle Hart went a little wide there. Did you see that?
Oh, a little contact off the ski jump. Not good.
Kyle Hart is fearless, for sure. He's going to go the inside on Creed.
Ryan Beat now sneaking up into the top 5 as well as we go back up to the front. Brian Deegan slowly closing the gap here on Brandon Arthur.
Sheldon Creed has been on the podium every single round. Look at that. You're right about one thing. He's pulling a big gap up that uphill.
I mean, what looks like would be horsepower is more likely than not gearing inside of the truck.
The gearing setup is everything, and I think he's pulling them here on the front straight as well.
He's feathering that throttle through turn number 1. Everybody doing a great job. Sheldon Creed closing the gap here on Brian Deegan now.
And you know, just a year ago, Sheldon Creed and Brian Deegan were not the best of buddies, but I think they've come to respect each other. I think Deegan was a little irritated by some of the contact and issues he had with Creed, but you know, it's developed into quite a rivalry.
Yeah, I mean, I agree 100%. I think Deegan initiated some of that contact, and Sheldon Creed had no issue with giving some back. Maybe some and then some.
Brian Deegan in that 40-ish age group. Sheldon Creed not even really that close to 20 yet.
Yeah, once the helmets go on and they start racing, absolutely no respect for his elders. He just wants to win.
Lots of rumors about Sheldon Creed and pavement racing. We know that he's at least gotten the attention of some big names in the pavement world, we understand. So
by the way, new color on the truck there. And that's in memory, speaking of a little bit of contact, that's in memory of his grandmother, who unfortunately they lost here just recently to colon cancer.
Brian Deegan has a very busy race week. As we take a look, Chris Lawrence, the number 58, the Lawrence Equipment sponsored vehicle. And Brandon Arthur's got his hands full here. He's got Deegan and he's got Creed right there, but gaps him coming down the front straight. The bad news for Brandon Arthur, another restart. And I think as a rookie, it becomes harder and harder to hold off the veterans, especially as the track develops more and more ruts up in turn 1. It's going to be harder for him to drive the...
We're back here at the General Tire Off-Road Nationals presented by Toyota. The number 6 truck, Brandon Arthur, trying to hold off some of the best in the class. And here comes Brian Deegan up the inside.
Deegan is not afraid of the bottom of the racetrack at all. Arthur's going to go very wide. It worked for him before where he got a run, and I think he might have another run on Deegan. He does.
Man, he did not flinch at all. Hit his points perfectly. Hats off to Brandon Arthur.
Now Arthur going to protect on the bottom. Deegan, actually, it looked like Arthur almost missed that point on the turn there. It looked like he was going to give it up, but
he's
now
really been having a hard time getting that truck to rotate in the right-hander.
I think that one's all done now. I think Deegan's got him.
Outside in. Here he comes again up the hill.
I could be wrong. Deegan on the rev limiter. Hear the chip banging. Deegan's got him. Oh, and Deegan, wow. Deegan sent that. I almost thought he was going to catch the front on that.
And look at Brandon Arthur. He's going to come back to take the lead. You've got to be kidding me.
You got to love it when a rookie just puts it in a vet's face like that and races right back to the yellow. Oh, that's going to be frustrating for Brandon Arthur. And hey.
Few antics taking place here. Eric Hunter part of it here in the 10 truck.
Mikey Lawrence going up and over, and Eric Hunter with nowhere to go in the number 10.
Wow.
some synchronized parking from Hunter and Lawrence. They're going to pull them apart. We'll see if someone else, see if they can get going again. Let's get it down to Rob.
And guys, that streak of podium finishes for your current Prolite points leader Sheldon Creed in jeopardy as he is in the hot pits. A lot of damage to the right rear. Hopefully for Sheldon, it's just a right rear wheel and tire that they have to get off and replace to put it back out on the racetrack. But work continues on that right rear, so the crew's going to try and get that off. They have, and replace it and get Sheldon back out. Good thing is for him, the caution is out, so he'll only have to go to the tail of the field. But tough break for the number 74.
I mean, good news, he won't lose, be off the lead lap, but he's going to be way in the back of the pack.
Yeah, he's hoping for another caution now. Brandon Arthur with a better restart this time.
Sooner or later. Oh, Deegan on the binders. Deegan with a huge run, and here comes Kyle Hart on the bottom. The Ready Lift number 41, the red, white, and black truck.
You make one small mistake, and you will have to pay for it if Kyle Hart has anything to do with it. Oh, Brandon Arthur, the right-hander. I told you he was struggling in that right-hander. Getting the truck to rotate, tries to carry a little more speed, and looks like the rut bit him. What a shame. A great run for Brandon Arthur here tonight, though. Congratulations to him.
Much respect to that run, but the pressure was on. The boys were coming. And as we said, the track just developed. Look, he looks like he catches right in the edge of that rut between where they've been racing and a little bit more of the loam. Taking one more look at it.
Good save.
Definitely a good save.
By the way, he's in good company. Brian Deegan has lost the race here at this track on at least 2 occasions doing the same thing, so it's not an easy task to stay out front out there.
Sheldon Creed after the restart up to 7th. RJ Anderson going super wide. And the Traxxas number 74 is going to do work on the former class champion. Wow, hello.
That is amazing to drive by. RJ Anderson must be having some issues out there with that truck. Few guys driving by him now.
The red 53 is Ray Griffith as we go on board with the Monster Energy, number 2 of Casey Curry, the Jeep.
We haven't heard too much out of Casey here as of late, but always a solid player.
It just seems like Casey's just been off a tick here in Reno this weekend. I don't know what it is, but just that truck hasn't been really switched on.
Oh,
hey,
hello.
Hey.
Oops.
He had a big head of steam there. Look at this, a battle for the lead with
Kyle Hart.
2 to go. Kyle Hart is going to pass Brian Deegan. Hello.
Kyle Hart hanging it out down the straightaway. Puts the Ready Lift off-road suspensions truck out in front and looking for his first career win.
He had a big head of steam here and probably has some gearing on Brian Deegan.
That is hanging it out, flat out.
And he controls it down the bottom, gets on the binders. Protects it. Great job. And oh, there's going to be a restart because of DJ Noor. And Ray Griffith, the Desert Racer, the 53, hasn't got going again after the contact.
DJ Noor there in turn 1 going for a big ride, and look at this.
Yeah, that was the help from Sheldon Creed there. And guess what? Someone else is in the pits. Let's get it to Rob Klepper.
And guys, you can see the number 38 of Brian Deegan here in the hot pits after a 2nd place finish. 1 round to go, moved from 3rd to 2nd in the points. Was leading here early, got passed by Kyle Hart. Now finds himself with a right rear flat. Crew hasn't changed, and Deegan will head back out.
Tough hit there for Brian Deegan. Will fall deep into the pack. That changes up the top 5. All right, here is the shootout in the Prolite category. Green flag flies. It is on. Kyle Hart looking for his first career Prolite win.
Green and white together means just 1 lap of racing. Kyle Hart in the Ready Lift sponsor number 41.
Jimmy Fishback in there as well.
Fishback in the 48 in the 2nd spot. Now Sheldon Creed and Ryan Beat battling for that 3rd spot. Remember, Creed's been on the podium every lap. Oh, look at this.
Hoffman goes for a vicious ride. Ends up on the K-rail, leaning against the front straightaway. They are racing back to the stripe. Jimmy Fishback has never won. He's in 2nd place. Kyle Hart has never won. We're hoping Hoffman is okay. Safety is on their way to him immediately. And Kyle Hart is stretching this thing out, looking for a win. Here comes Creed and Beat. Both have won here.
And Sheldon Creed's podium streak is at risk, but it looks like with Beat getting up on that dirt on the inside, it's going to be Creed. Kyle Hart with his first ever Prolite win.
The Ready Lift sponsor number 41 of Kyle Hart goes to the top of the box. Dad will be proud. Jeff Hoffman climbing out of that truck after a vicious barrel roll, coming off the ski jump, and then got together with somebody there on that tabletop. As you take a look at the number 41 truck of Kyle Hart, his mom also a huge part of that team. Let's see what happens here. Oh, man, a couple guys getting together.
It looked like it was all him. He came across in front of everybody else. I'm not sure if he got touched up higher to start that, but he definitely came across the field.
Those restarts are sketchy. Look at that podium. Kyle Hart, Jimmy Fishback, and then Sheldon Creed from the back of the pack somehow keeps the podium streak alive. Marty Hart down there to give his son a hug, no doubt, and his mom Sharon right there as well. A huge part of the team. You see her emotions as well. So great, great moment for that family.
What an emotional moment it is for Kyle Hart. Congratulations, celebrating your career best finish. Top step of the box. You can't ask for anything better than that, but you faced all the elements here tonight. But what was it about racing under the lights that made you come alive?
It was just a fun battle, and Deegan and all those guys were running really hard, and we ended up getting by him in the top 4, but I don't know if he was going down or if we got him, but all that matters is that we're up here, and I'm so stoked.
You had a lot of pressure behind you. Nobody was letting off, but how did you manage to stay cool, calm, collected, and not to succumb to all the pressure?
It's just, I've been out here for a little bit, so I kind of know, and then my dad's always keeping me cool on the radio, just saying, just a few more laps, just keep it cool, and you can bring this thing home.
He's definitely out of breath. What a race it was for Kyle Hart. You guys, what an outstanding job it was.
Great job by the whole team. Dad is absolutely beside himself, super stoked. Sheldon Creed puts some more points on Brian Deegan as he continues to keep his podium streak alive. RJ Anderson moves up to 3rd with Justin Bean Smith falling back 1 spot.
Not only is it Jimmy Fishback's first podium of the season, it also marks his career best finish. Congratulations to you. But Jimmy, you guys were up against all the elements you could possibly be under tonight. So many challenges. You had the artificial lighting, but what about the wind? It definitely picked up. How did that affect your overall race?
Yeah, you know what? We didn't notice the wind that much. It's just right there shows you never give up. Prolite class is tough. A lot of guys, a lot of carnage, a lot of really good drivers, and you just never give up. You drive your heart out, and it shows, you know. We've had 2 podiums last year, none this year, and to come out rocking in Reno and get a 2nd was awesome.
Jimmy Fishback will be a player in this class, all said and done. Speaking of players, how about Sheldon Creed? Only 1 win, but 6 consecutive podiums.
It was definitely a last lap charge for your current points leader, Sheldon Creed. Congratulations, making your way back up to the podium. Back-to-back 3rd place finishes here in Reno, but take us through it because you went all the way from the back of the pack all the way up to this 3rd place position. How deep did you have to dig to pull this one off?
I had to charge hard. I started 5th or 6th there and was running hard, caught Deegan and trying to make a pass there at the top and just threw the truck 2 sides at the top and popped the tire off the bead. So I was kind of mad at myself and started dead last at that yellow. I think there was like 7 laps to go and just put a charge in and gotta apologize to Ray Griffith. I tagged him up the top and I just want to get back on this podium. I couldn't let it lose my streak and 6 podiums in a row, so I got the points lead. I think it was a good points day and now I'm just pumped. Came from last to 3rd in 7 laps. So
great effort after that tire change. Check us out on Facebook and Twitter, and always log on to LucasOilOffroad.com for more of what's happening at the series.